Bones Modise, welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you for having us here.
Okay, so just tell us a little bit about what this operation actually means, when it all got underway, and what you guys are hoping to achieve.
Okay, the Operation Wanya Tsotsi, Enough is Enough, it's a campaign that is led by the ANC Youth League in Gauteng, and it seeks to mobilize the community to be part and parcel of the structures that seeks to combat crime and criminal activities within our communities.
Okay, so when did you guys actually begin it?
If you would remember, I think 3 weeks back we were here to announce a march that we had in Davidton. I think the march was on October 12th, where we had recorded about 12 cases of car hijacking, and out of that 12 cases, 5 people had lost their lives. So we felt that it can't continue that way. So we had mobilized the community of Davidton. We marched together with the community of Davidton to the Davidton police station, where we raised our concerns in the manner in which the police are investigating the cases and so on. So our feeling is that Gauteng is the economic hub of the country and the continent. And if we continue to have criminal activities taking place in Gauteng, we run a risk of allowing criminals to take over the country, and we might not have a place to stay.
So basically what you guys are hoping to achieve then is to work alongside the police and those structures that are already put in place by national governments to help protect society. But what as private people, or what as people that may be coming to help with this Operation Wanya Tsotsi, Enough is Enough, what are you guys hoping to achieve in the way of supporting these already formalized structures?
If you know, and you would agree with me when I say we've got patrollers in the township, we've got CPFs and so on, which are structures that also assist police in combating criminal activities. But the problem is that most of our people are not party to these structures. You'll find that in an area like Orlando, Mamelodi, or Tembisa, or Sebokeng, or Mohlakeng, out of a community of plus or minus 10,000 people, you'll only have 3 or 4 people who are part of these structures. That on its own is a problem. And the reason we're unable to combat or fight against crime in the country is because criminals are organized, whilst communities are not. And now we're trying to mobilize community to be as organized as criminals. You know, let me make a practical example. There's a shopping complex in the Val called Vereeniging, Mark Park in Vereeniging. The hawkers around that community, or around that shopping complex, whenever there's a criminal activity that is taking place, they themselves will apprehend the criminals. And the reason they do that is that they will tell you that if we don't do this, we'll lose business, because people will no longer come and buy around here, because they know that this place is full of criminals and so on. And this is what we want the society of Gauteng to be able to do.
And I suppose the importance of young people getting involved in this is something that you guys are trying to hope to mobilize.
That's correct. I mean, young people are the future of this country. Young people are the future leaders of this country. If we take responsibility at an early age, as we grow, we'll grow with knowing that we ought to be responsible as people. I mean, let's make a practical example. If now the people who kill Senzo, they belong to a particular family, and there's a family that knows that Bones has, since the death of Senzo, has never been home. But this community has never come forward, or this family has never come forward to say, look, I've seen the identity kit, and my child has been missing since the death of Senzo. I think my child might be this person or might be that person. Where is this community? Where is this family? So why are they not coming forward to say, look, I believe my child is involved in this thing?
But there is a very big fear. I think that's also perhaps maybe a barrier for communities to be able to stand together, because there's a fear and maybe not a full sense of trustworthiness amongst neighbors and amongst community members.
I agree, and that is why the criminals will always roam around the street, because communities are unable to come together. Our campaign seeks to bring communities together. We are saying to them, look, if you don't stand up, if you don't do anything about these things, you know, when crime happens and you are not the person who are directly involved, it's easy for you to talk. But when it happens to you, you want everyone to stand up and say, hey, we know who did this thing. So we're saying to the community, please come together. It's about time that we claim back our streets. It's about time that we belong to these structures that seeks to combat crime.
I suppose crime is something that affects each and every single one of us, whether you are directly affected in your home. Thank you very much. That's Bones Modise. He is the ANC Gauteng Youth League Secretary, just speaking to us about their operation that they've unveiled in townships around around the province, called Wanya Tsotsi, Enough is Enough. That's how we conclude this sports bulletin. Time now to bring you your headline.